Woo! What's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? We are in the building. We are back again. We are here at the aftermath, and we about to bring it to you like it ain't been like since
Never
last week
before.
or like never before. Cause that's how we operate. That's what we do. That's how we do it. That's what we are doing today. So y'all know who I am. I'm Sandy. I'm sitting here with my crew.
Hey, it's your girl Shanice. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Aunt your mama
Wind
is
down
in the
who's
house
back.
today.
We're back in the
Yes.
building. Um, so we're bringing it to you. We do not own the rights to the music in the background. Let me say that. Let me say that right there.
Thank you.
But
We are at the aftermath.
we are at the aftermath,
Yes, we are.
and I am doing well. But let me go before we do that. How have you all's week been? And we're glad to see you. Glad you can make it back this week because you know
Yes.
last week was emotional week for you.
Very.
So
Yes.
how's everything going?
It's going good. Last week was my birthday and my grandmother's birthday. So, of course, it's still Gemini season, so I'm still celebrating. But yeah, just thinking about her and, wish she was here, but carrying her memory on. So, I've been having a great week, I should say. So, hey, another chance to do it again is what I always say. How about you?
My week has been great. I mean, I don't have no complaints. I don't understand why I would. Thank you. Thank you, Mama. They call you Mama Sergeant. But yeah, that part. Sorry. I want to eat it now. Anyway, my week has been great. The Father let me wake up each and every day. So all I can do is smile for that and say thank you. And so there's no reason to complain about anything else. That part.
How about your week?
My week has been wonderful. No complaints. God is yet still good. All three of us are still here.
Yeah.
I'm thankful and grateful to that. So everything is good. No complaints. I mean, really, no complaint. Courtney is doing well. My family is doing well. As well as to be expected. So you know how we do it. We just gotta live life to the fullest, and try to move on. So move and adjust. I am off for the summer, and believe it or not, I am trying to relax and take a break. I am, believe it or not, people probably don't believe this, and y'all probably can't believe this, but I have, Monday and Tuesday, I didn't do anything. When I say nothing, yeah, you talk to me. I did not do, when I say nothing, I did nothing, absolutely positively nothing. I didn't go nowhere. I did some stuff around in my house, but I didn't do anything. I mean, nothing. So it was good. My week was good, and it feels good not to have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So
You deserve it. Congratulations.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So other than that, life is good. God is good. It's all good. So we are here once again, ladies and gentlemen, at the aftermath. We are here at the aftermath doing what we do. So let's talk about it. Let's make it happen. Let's get going. Netta, what's the first topic? Because we got a whole hour. We over here in Norwood on Section Road, right around the corner from Corinthian Baptist Church off of Tennessee Avenue. But if you come look it up in the phone book, the Aftermath Bar and Grill. So we are here.
Yeah, we would love to have you guys come in.
And they got
just
happy
give your
hour.
opinion, just talk with us as we go through topics. The first topic is what is the role of a man and or a woman in a marriage or a relationship?
Say that again.
What are the roles for a man and or the woman in a marriage and or relationship? Come with it.
So my question, y'all know I'm always the devil's advocate here. So
Huh.
my question is there a role? Is there a role? Is there a role? Should there be a role in the relationship?
So let me start. I know I heard you saying like you're about to start. Let me start.
Yeah.
Since I
That's
am
a
married,
mouthful.
right? I don't really know about the role thing because I don't like it. Um, I don't think that it's like back in the days, our grandmothers or grandparents' days. It's different now. If I have to go out here every morning and work, then I don't feel like coming home and playing no role. I just don't feel like it. But and that's something that we never discussed in my marriage. We never discussed whose role is what and blase blase. I mean, he's going to take off out the trash. He don't feel that that's something that I should do. He's going to wash my car. He don't feel like that's something that because I would never wash my car. It would just be dirty. So stuff like that, I guess you can call that a role. Um, but I'm not sure what my role is.
And that's what I was gonna say too. When you say role, everybody's different definition is different,
Mhm.
and you know, both two people in a relationship or in a marriage are able-bodied. So it's just what works for you.
Mhm.
What do you call a role? I guess would you call a role? I hear people say men are supposed to take out the trash, but my thing is, if I'm at home and my husband's not there, I'm not just gonna let the trash pile up onto the floor because that's the role of a man. You know what I mean? So if it's bothering me and I see it and I can do something about it, I will. So I don't. It's kind of tricky when it comes to categorize on what's a role. Either you can meet the need or you can't. And women cook, men cook. That's not a role, in my opinion. It's just like I said, what works for you in your relationship. What you guys are agreeing on. One night I might cook, 2 nights he might cook. We can't necessarily say it's a woman's role to cook. So because we have fellas out there that can cook just as well, if not better, as some of the ladies, and vice versa. So I don't know. But personally, I just nothing should be considered a role. If you can meet the need for your partner and y'all agree on it and it works for y'all, do that.
So you saying so in relationships it should be shared. It should be shared.
Responsibilities.
Responsibilities of whatever should be shared.
For
Is that what
sure.
you're saying?
I am to agree. And we were talking to someone earlier and they were saying, you have to let the man or your husband lead. And I agree with that. But again, what were we talking about when it comes to role? Are we talking about that leadership thing? Are we talking about it's a man's job to get the garbage? Are we talking about, what are we talking? It's a woman's job to cook, because I've heard people say that's kind of old school. And I go back to again, either one can cook, whatever. I might not feel like it or not. You feel like it. We neither one of us may not feel like it. We go order takeout. So I guess it just depends on what it is that you're considering categorizing as a role.
Now, in my household, my husband don't want to cook. He really don't know how. I have taught him to cook some of his favorites, but it's the prepping and it's just so much to cooking that he just like, Jonetta, that's your job. And I'll be looking like, I don't know if we gonna eat. Right. I don't like the job.
And y'all cool with that. Y'all agree with that because you like,
well,
right? And y'all that's probably y'all think y'all have agreed to that because like if I'm waiting on him to cook, I ain't gonna like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
well, here's my thing.
Depends.
Hey Shopper, thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
It's been a minute. Yeah, you might catch me. Yeah, there are phone books still out there, and if it ain't a phone book, you can look it up on Google. Google got everything.
Yeah.
So
Google is
Shopper
the phone
says,
book.
Yes.
does it
All the
matter?
information isn't right, but yeah, look it up.
Does it matter who's the breadwinner and determine who plays the major roles in a relationship? Now, see, that's what we're talking about because some individuals think that it is. Some people think that because they're making the most money, they're making all the money, that they should be the one who dictates
Call the
what
shots.
happens in that household. But let me say this. I'm not going to say, yes, person is making it. I feel if you're the husband or if you're the man in the relationship, this is my personal feelings. If you're a man in a relationship, then I need you to lead me.
Sure.
I need you to act like you are the man in the relationship and the marriage. Now, what does that mean to me? It means that, yeah, I think you should take out the garbage. Can I take it out? Absolutely. But if it's stacked, it's too crowded or whatever, yes. I feel like if my tires need rotated, my oil need changing, I think, those are the things that I feel that he should do for me. Should he open the car door? Yes. Does he always have to pay the bill when we go to the restaurant? No, because I can share that responsibilities too. Now, as far as cleaning and cooking and making his drawers are clean and his clothes are clean, if he's doing everything else when he walk in that house, I'm gonna make sure he got food on the table. I feel that's my responsibility. That's mine. Bills being paid, It could go both
Either
ways.
way. Yep.
It doesn't. We have to agree to who does what, because if you're the breadwinner, then you're more than likely gonna pay the majority of the bills.
Right.
But then, what can I pay? I can pay the cable bill. I can pay the phone
fact.
bill. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I can pay something. I don't want to have it a burden on him
Right.
because he is the leader, the head of the household, or he's the one making the most money.
Mhm.
Right.
That's the way I feel. But
And-
that's just me.
Yeah.
Shaba says, don't forget Beyonce. A lot of women's idol made a song called Bills, Bills, Bills. Who's supposed to play the role in a relationship? That's Beyonce because she married a billionaire. She can sing any song she
Again,
wants to sing.
in relationship and in marriage, you got to know what your role is and
Yeah.
what works for you. You got to know what your lane is and what not to step on nobody's toes. Again, you got to allow your husband to lead. And so that's the compromise. Everybody's thought process and opinion on that is different. As long as I feel like you guys are doing it together and you're not making him feel, because men naturally, you know what I mean, they want to do it's in their DNA. So if you're doing everything, giving him nothing to do, it's like, don't take over. But
Right,
no,
he's not your kid.
right,
And you're not
exactly.
his kid.
Correct.
You're right.
I mean,
You're right.
You both are adults.
Build each other up, help each other out, make each other feel. Because like you said with the bill thing, like there may be some times where some may happen to be down. You might have to be that breadwinner that week or that month or that year. So it's not about necessarily roles, like who can meet the need at that time.
I feel like my husband is very old school when it comes to like paying bills and stuff in that nature. And so I had to make him understand I need at least one or two bills. Because before us, I've always been on my own, doing
Yep.
my own thing, right? And I didn't want to get unequipped to know how to get back out there
By
if
yourself.
God was to
If you
take
had
him
to.
home
Right.
or
Right.
anything happened, I'll be stuck trying to figure it out. When
Right.
I once knew it, but my
Right.
husband took care of everything, so now I don't know it no more.
Right.
Especially if I get older. I have a mother, a lady that I call mama. She
Right.
is in that boat to where she didn't know. I mean, Pops took care of everything. She don't even know how to cut the air on in the house.
Oh my.
It's so much, and I learned from that. I learned from a valuable lesson from that. So I told my husband, no, you're not gonna be paying everything. Let me get a couple of bills. I don't want them. I want to give them back so bad. But let me get a couple of bills so that I can still have my independence if anything was to happen. And too in a relationship too. I need to
Yeah.
have my
and
independence. in a
if
relationship.
that's what and that made you feel comfortable, that
Yeah.
made you feel, my husband takes care of me, and I take care of him. And so again, I just feel like what works for you, what works for this relationship may not work for another
Correct.
relationship. But you
Correct.
cannot, as a woman, you can't make a man feel like you don't need him. You know what I mean? Like, you can't make him feel like that either, because it's like, what am I supposed to do? You got everything.
Right, right.
So what you need me for?
Right.
So it's just that balance.
And Shaba wants to know, can the man lead if he makes less than his spouse or significant other? I feel he can.
Absolutely.
I feel he
I mean, a
can.
man
Absolutely.
should be a man.
Money
What-
shouldn't even be
right.
in the equation.
shouldn't be
I mean, it shouldn't be
a
a,
big
part
factor.
of the,
Absolutely.
Not if you're in a marriage or a relationship. It should not be. Money shouldn't take over.
Right.
But the
Not at all.
unfortunate piece, money
It
does.
does.
Money is the root of all evil, for
Yes,
the love
it
of
is.
money. And sometimes it ruins marriages. Trust me. I know.
I know plenty of people that's in a battle when it
And
comes
me
to.
too. I know a lot
Yeah.
of folks.
Yeah.
And they're
It-
still
it gets
going
ugly.
through it. I mean,
Yeah.
they're still going through it. Just because they're married and in a relationship does not mean that it's all good, because some people are having issues because of the money in the relationship, but they are still together. So kudos to them for still being together. But yes, I do feel like it should not matter, because a lot of things
It's a
that-
balancing act.
it
You
is.
know,
A
if
lot
I
of
get
things
if I get sick,
a lot of things
I
should be
can't.
discussed.
if my role was to wash the dishes, I'm sick. I can't wash the dishes. So
Right.
he gonna let them pile up out the sink and the house be nasty? Like, or if he gets sick, like that trash, I'm just gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? But I get it anyway, so it's not.
And
It's
here's
no big
my
deal.
thing, in my relationships, my past relationships, because I'm single. Let me put it out there to the
Put that
world.
ready to
put that
mingle.
I'm
put that
single
disclaimer out there.
because I choose to be single.
But ready to mingle.
And here's the thing. This is what I do know with me. If I do have a man, or if I'm in a relationship with a giver and a doer, then I've got to figure out some other way that I can do for him and he not realize that I'm doing that, because I don't. Yes, am I independent? I used to be extremely independent. I didn't want nobody doing nothing for me. I couldn't even wait for the man to open the door. I was gone, so all of that changed over the
Right.
years, and then the fact in law enforcement and then being a sergeant, you kind of like, you in control of a lot of things and you got to be responsible for a lot of things. And
Yeah.
sometimes that came back into my relationship and I, probably, hampered some things, but it's okay. It's all a learning experience. So
Absolutely.
no, we're going to talk about that too, because I ain't going to say that right now because that's another piece of this discussion. I hear you. He said he liked that disclaimer. Yes, I do too. But I do try to give back in a way. I mean, if it's something I'm out in the store, and I think I said this before, and y'all know this, I see something. If I think he may look good in it, or think he might like it, or he gonna smell good in it, or something that I want to fix for him to eat dinner tonight, a surprise, or we gonna go take a walk in the park. Let's do that. These are the things that I want to do to repay him. Not
Right.
really repay him, but to
Reward
Just
him.
bring
for-
enjoyment to
make
both
sure
our
that it's
relationship.
surprising.
Yeah,
and not saying that I'm in charge or I'm trying to lead the relationship. I'm trying to be the head of the relationship. I just want you to know that you ain't in it by yourself.
You
that,
appreciate
that
it,
I
right.
that I value you as a person,
Right.
not just because of the things that you're doing or the bills that you're paying, but just that I genuinely value you and value our relationship.
Yeah,
That's it.
I agree.
That's my point. So, wherever he is, Shaba, it ain't you. I'm glad we friends. So we're not about to play that game tonight
Peace, Shaba.
because we ain't even playing it with nobody in here.
He been trying, babe.
Go on, Shaba. Go on now.
We are at the aftermath, good people. We on Section Road. Look
It's
it up.
all good, friend. Come support. Come buy a
Yes.
drink. Come support Black business.
You know we love you, Shaba. We always love you. We always will. But life goes on.
Shaba.
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 Shaba. But yeah, we're at the aftermath. We're here at the aftermath bar and grill. They got half price drinks. You want to come over here? I think it goes to 8 o'clock. We're here till 7. So anytime you want to see us, every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are right here.
We're here unless
At
we
the
tell you
aftermath.
otherwise.
That's
We
right.
in the building.
We in the building.
Yes.
Unless we'll let you know. Okay, Shaba. Okay, by time you everybody, all three of us done called your name. Shaba.
Shaba.
So you
And we
already
have-
know.
We have viewers that are global. So hey, if this is something you want to chime in on, please type it up in the comments. We'll be happy to talk with you. We love talking to our listeners and our viewers. So chime in.
And
What
tell
do you
us all
think?
about
What are
it.
your
That's what it's all
thoughts?
about. And it's
That's
real
right.
talk. It's real talk. We ain't got no script. We just talk from the hip.
That's
And we
it.
just speak whatever we feel. The relationship, people come to us and want us to talk about these topics. Even if they don't look at it live now, they'll go back and listen to it because it may be something that you put in the comments or something that we said that may help them in their relationship along the way. So whatever we can do and however we can do it, just hit us up. You'll see us out there in the street somewhere. Don't be scared to say hi because we are here. We are here for you. So moving on, we just talked about that one. Let's go on to the next one.
So I want to do this one next. Should a person
Heal.
heal?
Oh Lord,
Mama,
and she
nobody-
wrote
got
it.
you. I got
Should a
you.
person heal when leaving a relationship before they get into another one? Or how long should they heal?
Right.
So we had that
Do they
question.
heal?
Yeah.
We asked
right.
somebody here, and they said 6 months. And I say it depends on how much time you need. Everybody is different.
Yep.
And I think you need to deal with the time that you need to get over that person.
Right.
Because it may be 3 months, it may be a year, it could be 6 months. But what they say about men, they look for somebody to go under or something or whatever they say. What's that saying? I don't know what it says.
Something like that.
Something like that. They don't heal. They just
keep it moving.
yeah,
Yeah.
they just next.
And I mean I agree 1,000% that the person should heal. I don't know. Like you said, everybody's healing time is different, but I absolutely feel that you should heal because whether you want to or you don't, when you don't heal, you bring that into your next relationship or your next situationship or whatever. You're out here hurting people, breaking people because you're broken. So I feel like it's an absolute must for men and women, either way, to be healed before they get into something else. And that's whether you have kids or you don't. You
Right.
know, broke people, break people.
Hurt people
so
hurt people. That's what they say.
that's right. So
They say hurt
to
people.
avoid that, I
hurt
feel
people.
like you definitely you gotta heal. And somebody's time might be 6 months, somebody's time might be 1
Might be
year.
something different. I mean, but at the end of the day, you need to heal
definitely,
because your hurt gonna hurt somebody else.
definitely, and we all know people that just be like, you know what, I done healed myself, I'm fine. And we've seen how that ended up when they went into the next situation. So get healed, get whole, get therapy.
So how long you think? How long
I
you
was
think
just about to
somebody
jump
been?
in there.
How
I
long- how
was
long you think?
swimming.
How long you
I was
think?
swimming, y'all.
I saw
I was
it.
about to jump
I
in
saw
there.
it. I saw it. How long you think?
So I feel like this. I feel first of all, people don't think about healing.
They don't.
I feel like pain, once they get out the relationship, because some relationships is really hard to get out of, right? And so that pain, I feel like a lot of people just suppress it. And so they don't heal right? And then however long it takes them to find someone else, day, 2 weeks, months, years,
Yeah.
however long, they still didn't heal, right?
Yeah.
So they get into this relationship and it's going smooth in the beginning.
Yeah.
Then she start doing some things that remind me of why I broke up with that.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, whatever went on with that comes into this relationship, and that's called baggage.
Yeah.
That baggage come because you didn't heal right.
Yeah.
I think healing right causes therapy. It causes a lot of things because pain can't heal itself.
Nope.
You feel me?
I
If
agree.
you have a sore and you don't wrap it, you don't take care of that sore,
Medicated.
guess what?
Yeah.
It's gonna get infected.
Yeah.
It's gonna a lot of things gonna happen to this sore because
Yeah.
you didn't try to protect it to heal right.
Yep.
And it may
Yeah.
cause you
You
lose
feel
your
me?
arm.
Yeah, it can cause you a whole
To
lot
lose a
of
lot.
things
You can
Yeah.
cause you to
that
lose
you
a lot.
can lose
Yeah.
because you didn't put
Take
the
that time
necessary
out.
work in to heal it right.
Cause you to lose a lot.
So healing is very important. But I'm me too. There's a lot of things that I need to heal from, right? But I put life before healing, meaning I work, so I suppress a whole lot of things and cover up with a smile, work, whatever, friends, whatever.
Right.
And so that's not healing right, Jonetta. You can't tell people to heal right and you ain't healing right. But I'm
Right.
just saying, I didn't want y'all to think that, I'm preaching something that I'm may not be doing myself or whatever. But I recognize that I didn't heal right? And I'm not talking about this relationship, my relationship. I'm just talking about overall life.
Right.
Overall life things I didn't heal right. And sometimes that pain from, say, my mother.
Yeah.
That pain from my mom can spill over and make me not have patience for my husband.
Right.
You understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So I need to, like my mom, this mom, keep telling me therapy. Get it, Netta, get it.
Yeah.
I need to do that so that I can heal right. I need to go into that hospital, which is the therapy, and heal right. So I know what I need to do. I just got to do it.
And that's real. And that's real
that's
because
real
a lot
talk.
of time people use things as coping mechanisms. And again, like you were saying, like you can get us a relationship when that pain come up again, then you peace out.
Mhm.
You might be the one to just bounce. Like every
Mhm.
time that pain comes from that first incident or whatever happened,
Mhm.
you bounce.
Right.
And that
So
person
some-
don't deserve that. That person
No, they
deserve
don't.
you to put up a little bit of a fight.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
if I'm telling you I love you, and that's in relationships as well. If
Period.
I'm telling you I
Yeah.
love you, Sandy, I love you. And that small little thing that you cause me the pain when you tell me to spit that gum out, Netta.
Take that
Well, hold on,
earpiece
Netta,
out,
my feelings, I
Netta.
want to spit my
Right,
gum
right,
out,
right.
If I don't heal, go talk to Sandy like Sandy that hurt my feelings, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Then guess what? Me telling her I love her is gonna make her like
It's
she
null and
love me.
void. Yeah.
She love me when she let something small as that.
Break
And,
up in our relationship.
You know, and there's a woman that tells me she loves me. So I'm just saying, like, we have to understand how to heal, how to communicate, how to just do all the things that a relationship needs. Like a relationship is in the middle.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that a relationship need in order for it to last and work.
Yeah.
And to grow, it has to be watered just like a flower does. And,
Yes.
and that's not just in and opposite sex relationships. That's just not in. That's in family relationships. That's
Every
in friends.
relationship.
Every
It's full circle.
Absolutely.
and here's my thing. It's easier. What's going on, Beck?
Hey, vet.
Tuning
Hey,
in.
vet.
I'll see you in a few days, Boo Kitty. Mwah, that's my sister right there. I'll see you in a little bit, honey. In a few hours, 2-3 days. Okay. I will see you. And you already know what it's going to do in Cincinnati. It's going down because that's what
Down.
we do. Tell my brother I said hello and I love him and I see him soon. So, but it's easier for somebody to say, it's y'all know it is. It's easier for us to say we need to be in um therapy. It's easy for us
Yeah.
to even tell somebody you need to be in therapy when we ain't in it and we know we need it.
Mhm.
We need it more than anybody. I go to therapy. I'm gonna tell y'all now. I go to therapy for a
And I
whole
have
lot
to.
of things. You know,
Yes.
I go to therapy for me, but I started going to therapy because of relationships, because of the relationship issues, really because of my marriage. You know, and all of the stuff that it was doing. Because you know, when you love somebody for the first time and that's your first love or second love or whatever, you know,
Right.
to the heel and things happen, somehow you're gonna need to get over it. I know I got y'all. I got my girlfriends. I got Vet. You know, I got Angel. I got my siblings. But sometimes you cannot talk to you all about everything.
Right.
You gonna tell me something totally different from a total stranger. Me going
Yep.
to sit down and talking to them
Yep.
about my issues.
Mhm.
And when I say, and I tell everybody this, my first 45 minutes with my therapist were tears. I
Yep.
couldn't even get nothing out.
Yep.
And when I say nothing, she said, okay, I see you next week. Just when you come back next week, then you tell me what's going on.
Yep.
Because sometimes it takes that. I'm telling
Yep.
you, because the hurt was so deep and you
Man.
don't know how deep it is. That hurt is what I didn't want to take over into the next relationship.
Mhm.
That hurt I did not take over into the next relationship, but I didn't call that next one a relationship.
Right.
That was a situationship. But then my last relationship I was in, it was a lot of independency that I had to overcome and a lot of control that I had to kind of like take back and slow down. But with therapy, with her telling me these are the things that I need you to do, the bullet points,
Yeah.
this will allow me to be better and not carry that same baggage
Yeah.
into my next relationship.
Mhm.
And because I've been through it too. Not even just that. I found that when those issues came up again, no matter what relationship I was in, I could recognize it at that point when it's coming up and do something about it, like act on it differently. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you don't go to therapy or go to counseling, it's hard for you to recognize like why am I stuck in this rut? Why do I keep
Exactly.
going through the same thing?
Exactly.
But when you do, it's pointed out to you. You break down about it,
Yep.
you know, and that's okay. It's gonna be ugly. You gonna have the ugly face, the ugly cry, all
You
of
definitely
that.
gonna have the
And that's
ugly
okay
face.
because that's where the healing happens. That's where the transformation happens. That's where the thought process, like, oh, okay, I recognize this when it happens again. And so yeah, definitely therapy, counseling, lay on that couch, sit on that couch, speak your piece. Break down, but get built back up.
Exactly. And Bet you are absolutely right. I don't care how you cry, when you cry, where you cry. Crying is
And release.
a release. And I do feel like it is a form of therapy as well. You know, I think when you shed tears, you're not showing people that you're so vulnerable or that you're sensitive or whatever
Are
the
you
case
weak?
may be.
Yeah,
Right. Are
no.
you weak? I think it is a form of cleansing, whatever is in there, because you're releasing
Yeah.
that baggage
Yeah.
that you know that hurt you, and you definitely don't want that same thing to bleed over into your next relationship.
I feel like our whole world needs counseling and therapy because so many people are acting out their emotions
Right.
from things that's happened to them before and things that are happening now that trigger, you know, that may be triggers. That's also an important thing that you'll learn in therapy, what your triggers are, you know, how to identify them, how to try to keep away from it, what to do when it does happen, you know,
Right.
etc. I mean, we can go on and on talking about it, but this is real deal, especially in any relationship.
Right.
So for me, with the crying, can I go back to that real
You
fast?
can.
I
You
hate
can.
it because I almost started crying when she was talking about her situation, and I feel like I'm about to cry now. I hate it. Like I literally hate it. There's sometimes I cry and I understand it's therapeutic, right? But when I just cry like right now, just cry, I hate it. people to me tend to feel sorry for me, and that's my number one thing. I hate for
Oh,
somebody
true.
to feel sorry for
Yeah.
me. So sometimes I don't talk about my issues or different little things. I hate getting into it with friends because I know I'm a cry, and I don't want them to like feel sorry for me
Right.
or anything like that because I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm a leader, and so I don't need nobody to feel sorry for me. But
It
I
happens.
cry, y'all.
But here's the
A whole
thing.
crybaby out here in the
She
streets.
is a crybaby out here in these
And that's
streets.
okay.
I hear at the aftermath, she shedding these tears and don't
That's
even
all
care.
right.
But
But
you know,
I'll
but this is therapy. Once
Right.
again,
And smell pretty in the picture at the same
exactly.
time.
This is therapy. Picture. Somebody say picture. This is therapy. Even talking about it, even you discussing
Yeah.
it and getting it out, it's a form of therapy.
Yeah.
Because this is what we do. This is how we do it. You know, we don't want to sit up here and act like we all that. And you know, although we are, like we can't break down, like we don't have feelings
right.
because
Or like
you
we
know,
ain't been through some stuff.
exactly. We all three of us sitting up here and been through hell and back. I'm just excuse my language, but we have. And things that have not been peachy cream over here on this side of the
Yeah.
world.
Right.
But at some way, somehow, we just figure out how to get through it. You know, they say women are some of the strongest women, black women anyway, are some of the strongest women on earth. And I believe that
Some of we are.
because we had those in front of us that led us and that taught us and showed us what we needed to do growing up. But my thing is, when it comes to crying, you know, I was just telling somebody this the other day, and it's so crazy. You know, people probably think I can't stand it either when people say, you need to smile, you stop looking so mean. Well, just depends on the situation.
Right.
If I'm out in the sun, I might not smile
Right.
because the sun about to be beating down on my face. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in
So-
deep thought.
Deep thought, you know, and I'm not even paying you no attention, so I may
Right.
not even see you. So I might not be smiling because I'm focusing on something else.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it does not mean that I'm a mean person. And I don't like when people tell me that. And that was another thing that I had to discuss with my therapist. You know, I was like, well, people always say that I'm not approachable because I look mean.
I've
You
heard
know,
it. Some-
that
yeah.
that bothers my little feelings that I have. So which would may cause me to cry or feel some kind of way. So my other thing is that what I what I was going to say is that I find it so crazy when we talk about crying is a form of therapy. My uncle, back in the day, growing up in Alabama, used to leave home. When I say home, where I grew up at, and my grandmother would be standing out there, and every time he left, he would cry. I mean, every time he would left, and I guess that was his. I mean, it was a sadness, you know, it was a peace that
Right.
was coming over him, but it might have been also a therapy. Now we all know about therapy
Right.
because growing up, we didn't know nothing about no
Yeah.
therapy.
You was like, what's
And,
wrong with him?
You know, in relationships and in family matters and issues to help us overcome the obstacle of the next person, the issue that I had with my sister. You know, I can't move forward. You know, I can't do this, that, and the other because I'm still feeling some kind of way.
Right.
But when I say he would cry every time he leave, I never understood that. So I do feel like crying is a form of therapy. Crying is also a release, whether it's good or bad. And in his situation, it was good because he knew that the love was there because his mama was standing there watching him on the porch and we
Right.
all were. But I have picked up that trait. When I go home, and I haven't been home in a little while, but when I go home and my mom was alive, and every time I left, I would cry. I mean, profusely. And that would be 30 miles away, and I'm still crying. You know, I would have to go to sleep and wake up just to not
Be
cry,
okay.
unless I was
Yeah.
driving. I just cried them 30 miles and just keep it moving, and you know, them tears would dry up at some point.
Yeah.
But crying is good. And what I'm saying, the moral of the tears is good for the soul.
And I think that's a problem. That's the problem nowadays. And no one wants to really show emotions. No one wants to cry. I'm hard 24/7, 48 hours a day. Like, you know,
Which hurts the
I'm exaggerating a
relationship.
lot, but you know, that's not
It
realistic.
might-
You know,
Which hurts the relationship. That hurts the relationship. If you are so hardcore
all the time.
and you so tough. So if you tough in this relationship and you don't show no
No emotion, no nothing.
your next relationship, what you think gonna happen? You carrying it over.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a carryover.
And eventually you're gonna break down because I mean we're human, you know, so and it's only so much we can do. It's
Yeah.
only so much we can hold on to and stand, you know. But that toughness, that's not where it's at.
We need to figure out Black folks, I don't think figure out, and I'm just saying because of experience and the people that I've been around, I don't feel that, especially growing up, they don't think therapy is needed. And I still think right now they don't feel therapy is needed. And I think therapy is needed for all relationships, especially if it's rocky, if it's on shaky ground. If it's something that I think that you want to fight for, then I feel like you should go to therapy, because if you don't, the healing process ain't gonna be there, because you ain't gonna heal.
Yeah.
We talked about that piece first. So you're not gonna heal so you can move on to your next relationship.
And I'm gonna say go even if it ain't rocky. Why? Because that support is there. A lot of times people try to go when they know they should have been went and stuff done went so far gone. Go when it's not rocky. Go when it's just like us saying, don't just pray to God or talk to God when something bad happening. Like all the time, praising, talk about him, pray to him, read the word, those type of things.
Right.
So it's not always just in bad times. Do it in good times too. So when the bad times come, you feel like I really get that cushion. I really get that support. I really get that knowledge. I can really let this out. I can really let this go.
Right. Which is good. You're right. You're right, Shaba. Tears of joy is everything. But that's tears of joy. What about the tears of sadness? Because in relationships, we cry.
There'll be some tears of pain.
We
Trust.
cry. That's right. When
For sure.
things we don't feel is going right, or when somebody done hurt our feelings. So we do all of that in relationships. It all comes out. Anger. We can be mad. Oh, if you're an angry person in a relationship, woo, how does that handle? How do you handle an angry person? Somebody that's always angry. How do you
How
handle
do they
that?
get in a relationship though? Because if
Anger-
you always
anger
mad,
and
that's
rage-
gonna chase
anger and
that person
rage.
away. Like you too
Yeah.
mad all the time, huh?
Yeah.
But
Anger and rage, that thing could be dangerous.
It
Yeah,
can be.
really.
But you and I know, we all know that there's good in people.
Oh yeah,
So there's some times where you're not always angry.
for sure.
So when you're not always angry, you see the good. So that's the piece, that how the person gets into that relationship, because they see the good in that person. But then on the other side, you probably see more anger
But
issues.
then with that, you operate on eggshells, because I don't want that person to get to a point where they're angry, because I fear for what they may do. You know what I mean? So you're not really being your whole true self, because oh man, I don't never want them to get angry. I don't never want them to be angry, because I don't want to see what's gonna happen. I don't know what they're gonna do to me.
Well,
That's a scary place.
it is. But the only thing I say about that, when you say do something to somebody, now that takes it to a whole new realm, a whole new different. It's one thing to be mad and to be angry all the time, and then to talk down to somebody. That's one thing. But then when you are so angry that you making
Putting
threats, or you want to,
actions,
you
yeah.
want to put your hands on somebody. Now we're going to a different.
Yeah,
I'm not
That's
trying
another
to. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be in no relationship with nobody that's about to
it's
lay
like
hands.
that.
I only want Jesus to lay hands on me.
Be
Absolutely.
angry, but sin not.
I only
Hallelujah.
want you laying hands on me if you was massaging my back.
Right. Hey, more oil, please.
Yeah.
Please.
I think I'm gonna wait for that. This is a vessel. We talked about that last week too. This is a vessel. The vessel is waiting on the right one.
And then where that oil at?
Yeah,
Where
I
that
mean,
oil at?
and I be saying, where that blessed oil at? Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hey, good people, we over here at the aftermath right now. You see what we do? We just like to laugh and
She gonna
have
keep it
fun.
covered up for Jesus.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna try to keep it covered up and look sexy for Jesus at all times.
I look sexy.
Yes, hunty, look sexy for Jesus.
Ah.
So we over here at the aftermath. We're here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this is what we do. This is how we do it. We just talk about everything, what the people want us to talk about. So these topics and subjects, somebody else wanted us to talk about it. So we want to thank you for listening and tuning in, and feel free to say whatever you want to say, and feel free to ask us anything you want to ask us right here
Yes.
on Tuck Radio. But we're here to 7 o'clock, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Aftermath Bar and Grill. We do not own the rights to the music in the background, nor
That's right. We do not.
the people in the background, because the
Nor the
bar is
They
filled.
jamming because it's wind down Wednesday. It's hump
Absolutely.
day.
And
So
the
y'all know
bar
how
is
we come.
filled. The bar is filled
Yes.
with people. We over here in our own little spot, but the bar is filled with people, because you can come over here and get half price drinks. So we're drinking water up in here and juice.
Right.
So we
You gotta
good.
flush it out sometimes.
Yeah.
Keep it hydrated.
We-
Well, y'all know I don't drink.
For sure.
Yeah, she don't drink. So We're trying to keep it
And-
hydrated
Yeah, right.
because tis the season. Because last week was burning up. Ooh, let me tell y'all. Mentioning last week before we get to our next topic. Y'all miss glamping. That's all I want to say. You miss glamping. If you miss glamping this year, stay tuned because we'll be doing glamping again next year. And not only that, we are still collecting heart money for the baby Aubrey. So if you come in here on a any day during the week, please, we want to put your name up on the wall so we can see your name with the heart on it that you donated to baby Aubrey. Her mom just wants to make sure that she's happy from here on out, but we know God is in the healing business.
Yes, he is.
That's what we do. So please tell all the deacons, missionaries, saints, and friends, we need you to donate and we need you to come on out to the aftermath. So getting ready to go into our next topic, our next subject, which is a lot, which I think a lot of women do. You know, I do. I really
That's sacrifice.
do.
Yeah.
They make sacrifices, and they make.
This question probably more is for women.
It is.
Men don't care as much.
No, they don't because it's something
Their body don't go through it.
They get up and go.
exactly,
You
and
know.
it don't matter to them. But when a woman is trying to once again making sacrifices, but she makes sacrifices for herself. Because at that time, that's who it's really all about.
Right.
It's herself.
Right.
She ain't making no sacrifices for nobody else because she
She
don't
doing
have
what,
to
what
think.
she needs to better herself.
You got it. So she done went to school, then graduated, then got a great job. Her career is phenomenal. She's up there in the 6, 7 figures doing what she do. So she's really not thinking about anything else but her career. That's
Or
it.
schooling.
That's
Either
it.
or. Yeah.
So you all let me know, what do you think and how do you feel a female putting her career first or schooling or whatever it is first before her relationship and before having children. But now, oops, I have did all of these things. I've accomplished all these goals. My goodness, I didn't have no kids.
No babies.
Now I
Oops.
want some kids and I
No
might want to
babies.
get married. So
Is
how
it
do
too
you,
late?
is it too late for a woman to have kids after she done put her career before everything? Relationship, husband, and kids. Is it too late?
So let me start again.
Go ahead on.
Go ahead.
Don't
She like,
scratch me, girl. I
it's
think
a
I'm that
spicy
loud.
one.
I feel like a woman that hasn't had any children, but I didn't do that. I feel like women will regret the decision to not have children before they career and stuff in that nature, because the way our bodies are set up nowadays, we got diabetes, we having strokes, we having heart attacks. It's so, I mean, health wise, it's ridiculous.
So many
right?
variables. Yeah.
And so we can't wait till we 50 and 60, and we got all the money in the world, but our happiness now is a child, because that child has to be raised.
Yeah.
And you at a point now, you too old to really raise this baby, because we got a little boy want to play football, basketball.
Yeah.
Mama walking on the cane now, but she got a whole lot of money, but her health
That's not gonna
wise,
bring
she
your youth
too.
and your health
Done.
back. Right.
And so we have to figure out before it's too late about if you really want to do the career thing before the children thing. It's so many kids now having kids,
Yep.
and they handling business.
Yep.
You feel me? On a low income. It
Yeah.
doesn't take $1 million to raise a child.
Nope.
So
But it is.
I just think that, and I've talked to women that has regretted the decision to put their career before having children. Now, marriage, I think that come and go. It don't matter what age you are to love on somebody or have
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
love
I
on you.
agree.
Y'all fall
I
in love and
agree.
get
I
married.
agree.
But that kid, because that's coming through the body. I mean, you have to carry doctors nowadays. They telling you like, you a little too old, sweetie.
And you want to have
your
and on-
system too,
right.
you
And
know.
on top of that, you want to have a healthy child. You don't want to have a
You
child with
want
all
to.
these issues because you are up in age. You know,
Right.
it increases your issues and your child.
Facts.
Right. But it's not, but we're not saying that you cannot have them. We're not saying for you not to do it. But if that's your choice to do your career before you have a kid, that's something to think about. It. What age?
Definitely.
What age do you allow yourself to have that career?
Mhm.
How long do you allow yourself to be at in a corporate business before you make a decision to have a kid? How long will you do that? 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Because if you think about it, you got to go to college, you graduate. Once you get out of college, you get a corporate job. You know, you got to give it at least 10 to 15 years to be vested.
Right.
You know,
And then
at
now
least.
and nowadays, it's touch and go because a lot of people and a lot of aren't staying in their corporation, aren't staying in their jobs, and they don't have that steadiness like we used to when our grandparents or our great grandparents were working, where you can be at your job 15, 20 years and
Right,
feel
right.
stable.
Right.
Like people are they lucky if they at their job a year,
Absolutely.
5 years,
Right.
So that's definitely something to consider too. But
Yeah.
yeah, the health thing is important. And I just actually seen an article of a couple who he's in his 50, 56. I think she was 60 and they had a child. And so the baby is adorable, but I'm thinking now, like in about 10 years when that child is 10, they want to be outside, running around, like
Right.
they're not gonna have the strength, the energy that they had at
exactly.
6. She gonna be 70 and he gonna be in his 60s. So, 10 years after that, kid gonna be 20. So it's like,
Exactly.
these are realistic thoughts,
Something to think about.
Yeah,
Something
and
I think we-
grandchildren.
Yeah.
You know, you don't raise your kid by the grace of God,
Right.
and now grandkids, but you way too old to really be involved in the
Right.
To enjoy it.
Right.
And I heard
it's
grandparent
really
is
something
a
to think about.
joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it is.
Hey Jennifer, what's going on? Checking in from Alabama. We appreciate you
Hi,
for
Jennifer.
listening. Thanks for tuning in. It's my home girl right there. We grew
Yes,
up together
hey.
in the great city of Samson, Alabama. Ain't no place like Samson, Alabama. So whenever I come in town, Jennifer, I'll let you know. I don't know. It probably ain't gonna be no time soon, but I'll let you know. So I agree because I tell Courtney often, she'll be 30. And I'm not trying to force and push her to do anything because she is focusing on her
Right.
career.
Oh yeah.
Her career right now is more important than having kids.
Right.
It's more important than even getting married. But my thing is, like I told her, I'm not trying to be 70 years old going to Disney World and Disneyland.
But
with
guess
my
what?
grandkids.
But guess what? She gonna go.
No,
She
I'm
gonna
not
go.
going.
She ain't trying to be, but she gonna
No,
go.
no, no. Trust me.
going.
She know.
She going.
She know
She's
I ain't
going.
going.
Yeah. She going.
Because when you
She most definitely going.
when you 50 something and you trying to, even when you 50 something and you having a kid and you have already had your career, you've already completed and done whatever. You're in the midst of your career and you have a kid.
You almost
And
retirement age.
exactly. A kid unexpectedly. How do you think that make an individual feel, whether you're male or female? So now the whole world is different. You ain't even, you still in the midst of your career. You either created a baby or you having a baby, and it's unexpected. It's unexpected. Hey, save me a ticket. Save me a ticket because you already know what it's like. You know what we're doing when we get down there. You know what we're doing. They don't understand. But you in the midst of a career, and all of a sudden it's a oops. Is there such thing as a oops baby?
I think
Definitely.
there's been plenty of oops, baby.
Definitely.
ain't
I don't.
never-
I don't even think
And you
people playing.
and you
a lot of
maneuver and you
people playing no
function.
more.
Ain't
Yeah,
no
you
oops
maneuver and
babies.
you function.
I don't think there's a oops
A
baby.
oops baby is a baby
That's my plan.
that you did not plan.
But do
That's
you-
oops.
Yep.
God don't.
I got a good friend.
God don't
a
provide
good
and
friend who
promote
got to
oops.
start over.
God don't do oops baby.
Yes, he do.
No,
And I
they
had an aunt
don't.
that was
We
40
just
something.
use
She was
the
like,
oops as a phrase for
Okay.
not
I didn't
playing.
plan it.
Okay, because he knew he was supposed to be here before that child was supposed to be
My
here.
twin. My twin had an oops baby,
It wasn't no oops baby.
and it was by his wife. I mean, he
That-
did not. His kids grown.
That
He
baby
did
was
not
supposed to
mean
be
that
here.
He loved her now,
Right.
but he
But-
regretted it before she is where she is now.
Because
Right.
it was okay. Let me say this.
Because it wasn't planned.
And he would say that again today.
But hold
Like,
it.
I'll regret it.
There's
but I
no,
love that she's here.
but there's no oops babies. Okay, let me say that
That's
because
her opinion.
God
My
don't
opinion is
God don't put oops babies on the world, on the earth. He don't. Y'all know that. If you believe in Jesus, and I do,
What do you consider a oops baby?
there is no oops baby.
What do you consider?
I don't consider no oops baby.
I mean, what do you?
I
What,
actually-
what's your
okay,
meaning?
wait. So what do you
What's your
call it when
meaning
you
of
don't
oops?
plan? What do you call it when you don't plan?
It's not an oops baby because if you
What do
haven't,
you? What's your
hold
meaning
on,
of oops?
because if you having sex, anything could happen. Ain't no oops about it.
What if you having sex but you
Okay,
have on
so
protection?
what if you get pregnant?
If I get pregnant, then I just get pregnant. But I ain't doing nothing to get pregnant. So I'm
What
good.
about the
Well-
people that get pregnant when their tubes are tied?
Now that right there? God knew what He was doing. I'm just
But
saying.
we're not talking about God
I'm
right
just
now. We're
saying.
talking about individuals.
That's what we mean by oops.
We
That's
talking
our
about
definition.
individuals.
That's what we saying. Oops.
Jennifer, tell the people, what is it? Tell the people. A child sent by God. I don't care if it's a tube
She know what we saying. She always
Look,
she
Jennifer,
in
look
her
at my lips.
look, Jennifer. She in her devil's advocate
See?
role, as
See,
she
Jennifer?
always
See,
is.
that's what
Hey,
happens
Jen,
when you got people that know
it's a
you.
oops baby when you don't plan. It's oops. I
Right.
did not plan
I
for this
did right.
baby. That
Oops,
don't mean I
I
don't
didn't
love the
know.
baby.
Right.
That
Oops,
don't
I
mean I
didn't.
don't thank God for the
Oops,
baby.
I didn't think it was a possibility for me to even have a child.
Correct.
I didn't plan to walk out without my wallet either, but it happened.
Now I can say even me, I had the oops pregnancy. Now, although I wanted a baby at that time or whatever, me and my husband did not plan it.
So I'm
So
about
I
to be
didn't
in your
know-
business.
I didn't know. You about to get in my business?
Mhm. So can you
Stay
have
in
a
my
baby
business.
right now?
I don't think I can.
Well, you don't think,
I ain't been pregnant since.
but you don't think. I ain't trying to get all technical and all that.
Go
but you
ahead,
don't
go
think.
ahead.
But
Let's
you don't
have the
think.
conversation.
But you don't
Let's-
think. Here, Jennifer. Jennifer said no. She said no. It's
Yes,
thank you, Jesus. So you asked her that question.
Thank
so
you,
heard-
Lord. Thank you,
You heard what
Jesus.
Jennifer
Praising.
said, because that's where we come from. We came from it. That's where I came from. That's the environment. I don't believe it's nothing that happens by accident. Everything is a meaning behind it, and God has that meaning behind it. He knows your thoughts before you even know your
So if
thoughts.
you go out here and have a car wreck,
He knew
you don't
that.
call that an accident?
It's an
But we
accident.
ain't talking about God. We're talking about human beings right now. We're talking about us. I'm not God, so I can't think for God.
Hey, there you go. He makes no mistakes.
Okay.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen.
But,
That's
but
what
we
I'm
not.
saying.
So we're not calling it a
They taking it
mistake.
too
We're just
deep.
saying,
Y'all
yeah,
taking it too
yeah,
deep.
it's
I ain't
surface.
taking it,
We're not calling
Not
it a
taking it too
mistake.
deep.
If he wrapped it up, I want birth control, and I get pregnant. That's a oops.
That ain't an oops. It happened. That's something that happened, and the semen got
That you
through.
were not
The
planning
semen
for
got through whatever,
because we-
and now you're
because
pregnant.
we planned for a baby not to
No,
happen, right?
here's the thing.
Protection on that side,
Here's
protection
my
on this
thing.
side. But hey,
People want to have babies.
Girl, we here.
I know
Here's my thing. People want to have babies.
she holding that devil's advocate role too tough.
Exactly. Jennifer. Oh shoot. Jennifer said. Hold
What you
on.
doing, woman?
Hold on. I done went and clicked some buttons on
Y'all,
you.
she
I'm
acting-
thinking everything. Jennifer
she acting
said
up.
he is still the
That's
head of
always,
everything.
always.
Correct.
I didn't say
No,
I didn't say I
we're
wasn't.
not disagreeing with
Hold
that.
on.
Yes.
Here's what I'm saying. Here's my other thing too. We know we try to do a lot of things to prevent pregnancy. It's a prevention. Things are put out there to prevent the pregnancy.
For sure.
Now we done got all off the script a little bit, but
That's
we talking
all
about, we
right.
still talking about careers and babies.
We are.
So here's my thing: if you are having sex,
That's
plan
always
or
a
not
possibility.
plan,
Yeah.
it's always that possibility.
That's
So
facts.
that's not a oops, baby. If it don't have to be.
It's-
Here's the thing:
It's still oops because
it's
guess
not
what?
a oops, because if you are out here sexing.
But I ain't planning on having no child.
Unless you done had a full-fledged hysterectomy and your ovaries and everything has been removed, then you can't have no babies. Okay, we know that, right? But if you out here sexing, and
But
whether or
sex
not
is
you
for
on-
procreating,
whether or
and
not
sex
you
is for
on birth
enjoyment.
control or not, we already know tubes being tied, birth control, and prophylactics don't always work.
True.
So if that's
Because
the
what's
case,
gonna be is gonna be.
Right.
But it's
Right.
still oops
There you
because
go.
I ain't
There
playing
you
for
go.
it.
It's
You
oops.
just
I
said
didn't
it.
plan
Because
for
I
it.
try everything in my
You
power.
just
If I
said
got
it.
my tubes tied, I try everything in my power
Now my fault.
to prevent me
We
from
from
being
having a-
getting pregnant.
Exactly.
You
If
just
I
said
get
it.
pregnant, it's oops.
It's
Yeah.
not a oops.
Because I
Because I
already
didn't
went through a
plan for
whole
that.
surgery. I done did too much work.
Now it's not oops if I'm out here raw dogging with
not a
everybody and I get
oops.
pregnant. You can't say oops
not a
because
oops.
you weren't doing nothing to try to prevent
either
it.
way, if you with your mate, with your boo,
We're
it's
gonna agree
still
to
not a
disagree
oops.
on this one.
We sure are. I'm gonna take this all the way down.
gonna agree to
no, she
wherever
can have
it-
her opinion. She can have her.
We all
just
in
your
our, we
opinion.
all have
Cool,
our
cool, 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 cool.
feelings. Y'all have
We,
our
we on the
feelings.
same page.
We here.
We all have, and I'm with you, Jennifer, because we know the real deal. But like
God
you
is
said,
always in
see,
control. You
Jennifer,
right.
Jennifer,
No.
see, I'm with you. See, Jennifer's like, no, exactly. They don't understand,
That's
Jennifer.
because y'all
Lord.
They
from
don't
old roll
understand.
tide.
Here we
We
are.
understand.
But
Jen.
like you
All right,
said,
roll
you
tide.
just said, if you out here sleeping with somebody with no protection, pretty much anything can happen.
right, but that ain't
You,
what
you
we
If
sign, but
if
that's what you
are
signing up
sleeping-
for.
If you are
You playing
sleeping,
Russian roulette.
but if you sleeping with your husband, your mate, your whomever, anything could still happen.
We're not. But the question is
Yes
not
or no?
can
But-
anything
but-
happen
but-
if you sleep around with pregnancy?
Doctors were given wisdom through God. We want to go there
They
to
were
help to create
to help,
preventions.
to help.
Now,
But if it
may
doesn't
help,
work,
it might not.
exactly.
But if I'm planning for it not to happen and it happens,
No.
it's oops.
It ain't an oops. No, here's my thing, because we can never plan. I don't think you can never plan for kids.
What you
You
mean?
can't plan. You can't
No, no,
plan.
no.
Because-
There's so many people
Let me
planning
tell you
nowadays. They going to get eggs frozen.
People
They doing a
planning
lot to
appointments for
plan
BBLs.
to have-
You know,
Right.
I mean, come
They
on.
doing a lot to plan to
I-
have a child.
I love my baby. I didn't plan to have her. I knew I was gonna have a kid. So if I got pregnant, I got pregnant. But did I plan it? No. Did I want a kid? Yes. But it was never planned. I just knew I wanted the kid. I knew I wanted the baby. So whenever it came, guess what? It came. So if I get pregnant now, guess what? I just get pregnant, but I ain't doing nothing, so I ain't got to worry about that part.
Well, like we said, it's oops, because if you don't plan on it, then
I don't
you don't
feel it's
plan
oops.
on seeing a positive pregnancy test because you did something to try to prevent
We're
that.
gonna agree to disagree on
Yes,
this.
we are.
At all
We ain't in
times.
control of nothing. We all
No,
know
we
that.
are not.
Right.
And my thing
You know what I
is,
mean? You can take 1,000 birth controls. If God wants you to have that
Absolutely.
child, you will have it.
Absolutely.
But it's still oops, because in my mind, I'm thinking I'm doing what I can to prevent that.
we
We
got
don't
our
know our
topic
path. We don't know what's gonna happen next.
We
We, don't
do
know what's
not
gonna happen
know.
tomorrow. We don't know
We
what's
do
gonna
not
happen
know.
the next 5 minutes.
because it's in His hands. Whatever happens. Here's my thing. So we got off topic a little bit, but the whole thing is career. Women sometimes, women do it a lot more than men. They put their careers first before having kids. Put it first before getting married, and then when they turn a certain age, they feel like, oh my God, I waited too late. My sister don't have. I have a sister that does not have any kids, and I'm not saying she living with any regrets because we talked about it on several occasions, and she's okay with not having kids. Her children are her nieces and nephews, although she didn't biologically have them. She said those are her children.
Right.
You know, and I'm good with having one. Thank you, Jesus, because God knew my mama had 10. And I don't see how. I only barely having, ooh, Jesus, 2 kids running around my house. Mm-mm. I don't know where I would be with 2 kids, but I'm thankful I'm
Right
where I
here.
am with one.
Right
I don't think I'd be here. I don't think I'd be here.
She be right here.
God
She's an
always got
excellent
different
mom.
plans.
And she gonna be right in that.
And
And she gonna be right in Disneyland at 70
No.
too.
God knew.
She gonna be right at Disney at
That's
70.
the whole thing. God already know the path that we're taking before we even take it.
Sure. Now that we can agree on.
So He knew I wasn't gonna have but one kid.
I don't agree with that.
I'm just saying.
Devil advocate.
I'm
I don't
just
agree
saying.
with that.
So y'all know what time
I
it is.
think God put us here and let us live our life.
Yeah, but He knew the life that you was living. But anyway, we at the Aftermath Money on Wednesday night. We here Wednesday night, 7
Yes.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is what we do, how we do it. We bring it to you live and in living color. We talk about everything. We love the Lord. We talk about Him too. You can't say we don't talk about Him in the bar because that's where they, you got to go out there amongst them and you got to do whatever you got to do to bring them in. So anywho, we're right here at the Aftermath. We're on Section Road and we're in Norwood, the Aftermath Bar and Grill. Come on over here. They got half price drinks up until 8 o'clock. So we are right here. Shaba. If Robert De Niro and Al Pacino can do it, you can too. Yeah, that's what she just said. I'm not trying to have no more kids, Shaba. But if I did have another one, fine. But you are right. When you get, there's no certain age, I don't think. But here's the thing. The woman has to be, I think the woman has to make sure the woman got to be fertile in order to have the kids.
For
Those
sure.
Al Pacino and De Niro, they had young women. You know, they have women that were younger to have their babies right now.
And
So,
men, we all know that men are always fertile.
Yeah.
So there's really no cutoff time for them.
exactly.
You
No,
know.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah.
So, and they probably don't have a career that they were looking forward to having before they had a baby because they were two people that are pretty much millionaires and got it going on. So they didn't really have a career before they met them two. So,
And if you having a kid by one of them, you taking care for life anyway. So.
yeah, so we're talking about careers. A woman with a career, she's in a career, but she's put everything else on hold. Even being married and having kids, she's put it on hold. Is it too late? When is it too late? Or will it ever be too late for her to decide to have kids?
Right.
That's how we got on that topic. And that's
Yes.
how we went over to the other
Wind
side.
it back.
But we came back.
Have a listening party.
Yes.
Have a watch party. Talk about it.
Y'all know what time it is. It's that time of
Yes.
evening where we got to go. We
For
got to
sure.
do what we do. Get up out of here. So but before we go, we got to give you some
Positive
positive
thoughts.
thoughts. So where we at?
I'll go. My positive thought is get therapy, get counseling. Whether you're in a relationship or you're not, whether you're in a marriage or not, get therapy, get counseling just for wholeness for yourself, for your mental well-being, because there's a lot happening nowadays. And so counseling and therapy is for you, it's for self, whether you're in a relationship or not. That's my positive quote.
My positive quote thought is know what you want in life. Everybody wants to have that beautiful career, make good money, but if children are important, you have to think now, because later might be too late.
They didn't hear you. Later might be what?
Too late.
Later might be too late. And y'all know me. That ain't what we talking about, but sweet baby Jesus. You gotta have something in the
Trying to have
pot.
another baby, y'all.
Blow the whistle. You heard him in the background.
If
trying to blow the whistle.
Look, if y'all only knew that finger got hit on something else. Positive quote. Y'all know me. You know, positive in, positive out. But whatever you do, make sure you do it for the betterment of yourself, because there is nothing else more important than you and how you feel. And on that note, y'all know me. It's always better to give than it is to receive. We'll see you next week.